Okay. So why should you move to virtual? Well, shifting markets require that we need to adapt to our business so that we can get more clients and take advantage of the downtime and of our system so that we can continue to provide the same level of service to the client without very much hiccups, for lack of a better word. There are many reasons to make the move to virtual. One of them is current events, right? So, of course, COVID-19 makes it so that we can no longer meet with our clients in our office. And so we've had to adjust. Also, I noticed that my market, the target demographic that I was working with, they were already leaning towards, they didn't want to come to my office. And the reason being was, there wasn't any parking. They were going to hit a lot of traffic. And so they were comfortable with receiving things by email or by being able to electronically sign things. So I was already starting to notice just kind of like a uptick in me having to provide virtual services. So that's why. And a lot of my clients have demanding schedules that made it so that they needed to have a little more flexibility besides 9 to 5. And the virtual um, could be good for any time. Yeah. Benefits. So low overhead, right, of being virtual. You don't necessarily have to have a office. You can do it from a office in your home space. You're more accessible to the tech savvy clients. Um, they can reach out to you, and also there's less downtime before and after appointments, right? So like when I'm doing virtual, I can pretty much do them back to back to back to back. I wouldn't recommend it, but it is easier to maybe schedule them back to back if you had to, like maybe 2 appointments, as opposed to had they come to your office and then the first appointment runs late. And I also find that the virtual appointments are faster, right? So if they're here in my office, oh, they're taking their sweet time. They have lots of questions. They want to massage the documents, and that's fine. But with virtual, it's like their kids are hanging off the couches, jumping. They can't wait to get off the call. So it actually makes them very fast for my clients and me. Okay. All right. So then next we're gonna talk about now that you've seen the benefits or the need for it. Hopefully you've decided to start implementing virtual aspects into your business, and there's plenty of resources to help make your job a little easier. And so it's for so software. Go to software. All right, so 17 Hats is a software that's that relationship management software where you can put in your contacts and send them emails, and also that's internet based. And so one of the give me one second, waiting room. Okay, okay, sorry. Okay, one of the most important things to doing virtual work is a good internet connection. Okay. A good internet connection. And, a lot of people talk about they do work from Brazil, and they talk about how lavish it is, being able to and have your laptop up in the beach. But in reality, if you don't have a good internet connection, then how much work are you really getting done? So that's the number one tip. 1 second. And then have something where you can do your form preparation. Because your clients are not going to be able to just come in and hand documents to you, or just check in to see how their case is going, or maybe they're not being able to call you as much because you don't have office hours, and maybe your phone doesn't ring to your cell phone. you have to remember that it's very important to stay connected in these times. Maybe sometimes even more, just to keep reassuring your clients that everything's okay, and that even though you're not in the office, their work is still getting done. So that's another good point of making sure you're staying connected with your clients, whether it's, like I said, you have a Ring Central program or Grasshopper or um, you know, I forget what other phone system there's out there. But basically, so that if you miss a call in the office, they can ring at your cell phone. Also, make sure you have Zoom, like, of course, you do. And then maybe a backup video conference in case Zoom is down or something. Always want to have a backup. Also, email blasts. Now it would be a good time to maybe log back into that email chimp account that you created a couple years ago, and just start sending out email blasts to clients to remind them again that you're here. You create the email and it goes directly to their inbox. And I know Angela has been doing that too. She mentioned to me that one of the clients thought that it was something from the court, because it was just very professionally done. And she gives updates on what's going on in the court. Are they accepting filings this week? And that one of the clients thought it was from the court directly. But Angela, thanks for letting me share without asking first. Okay. Next is appointment tools, right? So you want to make sure to have some kind of structure for how the clients can get access to you, and so that you can plan your day, and so that you can be available, organized, and prepared when you do meet, right? It's okay if your clients' kids are hanging off the couch at the call, but it would be, of course, make sure that when you do take client calls, that you are focused and not distracted, so that the client feels that it's all about them. And I know it goes without saying, and you guys already know this, but sometimes with change, you can't think of everything, right? When change happens, and I think we're all doing a very good job of rolling with the punches, and adjusting at the drop of a dime. And we've had to do that, and I think that that's what makes us really good LDAs, is having the ability to pivot and adjust and bounce back. And definitely, it's very important that we all will take time to take care of ourselves when we're taking care of our clients. So definitely, put these systems in place to be accessible to your clients. But if you have to turn off your phones and turn off that Zoom and Skype, do that if you have to, because doing virtual work can sometimes burn you out. It can burn you out because even though it sounds like everything is streamlined and great, it does take a lot of work to provide virtual services. You have to sometimes do extra work to make sure that everything does come out smoothly. And so just remember to take time for you, and have the tools in place so that some of the tasks are taken from your plate. For example, the Acuity's calendar scheduling app, ever since I got that, I send them a link to my calendar, and they can just choose the date and they can reschedule themselves on their own. And then that Acuity scheduling will automatically generate the Zoom appointment call login info. And so I didn't have to call them, and we're both on the phone talking about, well, what day is good for you? Do you want a morning appointment or afternoon? And then they call me back and they say that day doesn't work because they're taking their dog to the vet or something like that. It's just like, you know what, here's the link. They're like, I need to reschedule. I'll shoot them the link again. Good, thank you. Anyway, so there's different options for that. And the best part is, make sure you have systems in place to get paid even though they can't drop off cash to you. Now, I do immigration, and I have the majority of my clients like to pay in cash or money orders, and so they're struggling right now, and to because they want to come in and drop off the money, they want to make sure you get it, and so they don't have credit cards. But for the other clients that you do, that they can pay with credit cards, make sure you have systems in place like Square and or QuickBooks or some of these other programs that I mentioned earlier, like the MyCase. They have the ability to generate invoices and allow the clients to pay by credit card. Sometimes we also do Venmo. Again, not everyone has those apps. Some of my clients have had to adjust from the cash and a money order, and they're doing Zelle payments because they have a phone and they can do that. But not all of them again. So just whatever you do not make it hard for your client to pay you. Just that's the number, one of the very most important rules. Um, it's frustrating when the client's trying to give you money and they can't. Um, Next, it's not all, fun and roses. There are going to be some challenges. Um, Here's some common challenges is remember that you are losing some human touch, right? Where they can't come in and shake your hand, give you a hug. Um, you know, so just be patient. Sometimes they're gonna want that emotional connection through the phone, right? And they're gonna want to call and talk to you about what's going on in their life. And be patient. They need to know that they need reassurance that everything's going well and that you're still there for them. Um, Also, again, remember not everyone has access to computers, and or even smartphones. So just be flexible on for example, one of my clients doesn't have Zoom, doesn't have access to Skype, but he has the WhatsApp. And on the WhatsApp, we have the video call. So I'll get on a WhatsApp call and we can talk that way. That's one way. So be flexible. And if they don't want to use your calendaring link, just pick up the phone and just make that connection happen, make that appointment happen. Go the back and forth with them. So just be flexible and be patient. The other challenge is there can be a little bit of lack of structure, and what I mean by that is in training your clients. So because you don't have set office hours, the clients are going to want to call you after 5 and before 8, right? And they're going to think that you're going to be available at any time. And so and of course, that's not how you want to run your business, right? Because you want some kind of structure and be able to turn off the clock and your mind, to be able to focus on other things. So definitely create a little bit of structure. And just a few final tips: stay organized and have systems in place. Make sure you test, test that your speaker's working, test that your camera's working, test that email, that if someone chooses a certain date on your email, it shows up on your calendar, they get notified about it. So just take the time to create the systems right the first time so that things can be more streamlined in the future. And then again, one of the most important points is communicate next steps with the clients so that they're reassured that everything's going well. And so then that's pretty much the presentation. But the way this works the most is when your clients feel that you have your systems in place and they trust you. That's what will make it successful. So if you say you're going to do something, just do it.